Here we are in our front paddock and we're making some swales today. This is our level, and I've set it up, and you can see down here the plumb line is right on the mark. This mark down here, I've got the screws to make it easy when I'm walking, and I've marked the first point. So what we do now is walk the level across the paddock. It's surprising how easy this is. Now, I've leant it towards myself to stop the weight blowing everywhere. There's a bit of a breeze, and I'll just lean it out a little bit, and you'll see it'll come free. And when it's that side, that means my left side needs to come up. Lean it out again. And that's pretty close. Just for making swales, I figure anywhere between those two screws is going to be good enough. So we hold the left point in and we swing around again. Leaning it back to stop it wobbling. Just lean it forward a little bit. I can feel the wind picking up, so we don't want it too much. So now the right side's got to go down a bit. And down a bit more, pushing it away, back a bit so it doesn't get blown in the wind. And this time I can just go down a little bit more, and that's pretty good. I'm just checking it. That's the wind blowing it slightly off. I'll go down a little bit and back, and you can see from here the value. The value of making a very long, wide A-frame. It allows you to, it makes it more accurate and allows you to get across the paddock much quicker. And you can see, I'll lean it towards me, lean it out a little bit. Looks pretty close where it is, but no. There's a bit of friction between the bar and the string. Push it away. That's pretty close. So what I'm doing now, I'm pushing down with my left hand just to dig the corner of the A-frame in, and we'll go around again. Leaning back so the plumb bob doesn't sway around. And we've got to go down a bit. Down a bit more. And you can see, just pushing it away so it's not held up. That's pretty close. Come up a little bit. So there. And mark it. Now I'll show you what happens if you don't lean it. If you don't lean it back. If you lean it like that, you can spin around, and you can see it dangling in the wind, and it sort of gets all over the place. Where you put it back there, it just slows it up a bit. Now there shows that it's got to go up. Push it away a bit just to make sure. Okay, see a bit more. A little bit more down. Oh, too far. That's pretty good. Pushing down with my left hand again, swinging around. And I find that marking every second one with the surveyor's paint is plenty good enough. We'll after we do this, I'll jump on the tractor and I'll actually make this swale, and you can see how good it is. Okay, so that's. See, I pushed it away and it went slightly off, so it's got to come up a bit. So that's pretty good. Marking this one. leaning back. You really, when you're doing this, you get in the swing of things, and it's really quick. In the past, we used an optical level, and you can see that on one of our other videos. And it takes two people, and this is just as quick with one person. That is just enough wind to blow the plumb bob around. That's just a bit of scrap metal I had. Just up a bit. That'll do. I just figure that anywhere between these two screws is pretty close. Dig my left hand in, tilt it back. That's a bit closer. There you go. Done. Spot on. Lean it back a bit. I can feel the wind picking up a bit. When you just go to do this by yourself, it's actually a bit quicker because you don't have to be as accurate. You'll see when I'm using the tractor that I actually have the tractor on a different slightly downhill than these pink marks. One of the things about doing the swales like this is as we go we can check the distance between them, because it's going to vary a lot because of the slope and the general topography. You can see there's a bit of a slope going around that way. There's a couple of little dints, but this is a good distance. This is sort of what we're after for this project. When you're in a hurry, you can see that, you can see the bounce, and you can actually gauge. You can see which way it's bouncing and the gap between the bounces, and you can use that as a guide. You don't have to wait for it to be perfectly still. You can see that one's bouncing near that screw, so I can just keep moving it. I don't have to wait for it to be still. So that's pretty right there. walk around again. Now I'll just give you a better idea how much I move the leg to make it level. We'll just put it a bit high. So that's pretty close where it is. Now you can see from the right hand leg, I'll make a quick little mark there, and we've got to go that far. So if you can see around here, there's about 20 centimetres that we moved. Now, if you made a smaller A-frame, that would be less. So this is where it's more accurate. So we'll go around again. And you get the hang of how far you have to move it when you see the how far it's off the line. I just pick it up and sort of move it down a couple inches, and you sort of get the hang of it. The steeper it is, the less you have to move it. So, and I'll just push that aside just to check, and it's sort of bouncing either side of that line, so that's good. If you had a level with that crossbar covered in PVC or poly pipe, you would find the string would slide much easier. There's be less friction between the plumb bob and the crossbar. I think if I was going to make another one, that's what I'd do. I might retrofit this at some stage. Just pushing aside to check on that. So that's up a little bit. That'll do. I've also used a laser level for marking out contours. So that's a one-person job with a laser level, but the actual reader on the staff is pretty small, and you've got to be pretty accurate to find it to mark on the staff. And so I found for marking contours, it was just a nightmare. It was too hard. So that's why we bought the optical level, and the optical level is really good. But again, I've had people that don't know how to use it, and an optical level has a couple of different crosshairs, and some people use the wrong one, and so that's got to be careful of that. This, I'm just doing it by myself. I'm just taking my time here, and it's easy. This would be a good time to have some sort of a podcast going on in your earphones. But I like listening to the wind and the animals. I can hear a cow in the background. My neighbour weaned his calves yesterday, so a couple of cows are saying, "Where's me baby?" Just pushing it away. That's pretty close, isn't it? Down again. Here we have a bit of grass in the way, and the further down your crossbar is, the more accurate it is because you've got longer plumb bob. So I put it down pretty low, and we can have a problem with grass, that the grass can interfere with the weight. So what I do there, I just slide my foot under it to slide the grass out of the way. It's a nuisance, I don't mind telling you. When you've got a lot of grass, which we have further down the slope here, the grass gets in the way a lot. So probably that crossbar should be up a little bit higher just to clear that, and it'll be much easier. And so the A-frame needs to be sort of about up to here, make it a bit bigger so we've still got a good cord on it, and it's out of the way of the grass. All the dimensions are pretty much your own guesswork. But this is just what's been working for us, and it's pretty effective. I'm not sure how long we've been going, but I've been explaining as we go. I would have this well and truly finished. You can see the bounce there, and it's just not quite right. It's got to come up a bit. Want a good line of pink paint or whatever colour you're going to use. This it's not paint, it's surveyor's mark. It's a bit more environmental. I've got to see it from sitting on the tractor. Now you could use lime or flour or something to mark it, but that means you would have to carry a bucket of lime as you were going, and that would be, you can see it'd be a real pain. That you could fix a bucket of this somehow and put a handful of lime, but it'd be a nightmare. So if you had someone helping you, they could walk along and they could be doing that. But that then makes it a two-person job. Because this is quite a simple one-person job. Just pushing it away. There we go, done. Again, I'm just looking at the bounce. That's about right. it's important to lean it away, because the friction, the drag on the crossbar can really hold that cord that I've used. And you think you're spot on, and you move it away, and the cord sort of set 15 mil off. I find it's important to go all the way to the fence, because you need a mark to aim at on the tractor. Even if your swales, your swale is going to finish short of the fence, but you got to have something to aim at. The wind's picking up again, and it's blown around, and you can see there's just a couple of little bits of grass down there, so push them out of the way. And sometimes you find the leg gets caught on, in this case, a bit of manure or a little tuft of grass, and you sort of go backwards and forwards and jerking a bit. It's not rocket science, so you can sort of be a bit carefree on that one. So just slide it with your feet. We're getting close to the fence line. There's a gully on the other side of the fence, so the contour's coming around a bit. And we're into some rock here, so we won't get much of a swale here, but it's right on the. Okay, so that's the contour marked. What we might do, I always carry this back to, I always start at the same spot, because I use the tractor from that end to this end. That's the way I've got the blade set. So now when I get here, I carry this back and walk along the contour. I've got a couple of things to mark here, so we'll walk the contour, and you'll be able to get a better gauge of what's happening. The big A-frames get a bit awkward to carry. And while I'm doing this, I'm looking at how far we are from the other contour, because we're going to make some cell grazing here, and this is all working pretty well. Now, I'm not running these contours right through, because down the middle we'll have a row of trees, and we want a laneway. So I'm just lining up. I'm just lining up some steel posts. There's our contour down here. So here lines up our steel posts. We're going to have trees there, and so we want a laneway here. We'll run the electric fences from that fence. We want a laneway to move stock, and that's about 4 metres. So I put a mark that way, so I'll put the blade of the tractor back in. What I didn't mention was when I'm marking the contours, always go the way of the contours. It just makes it easier. If you go across, you don't know what to aim at for the tractor. So all these pink marks are all along the line of the contour. So we go, this is the edge of the trees, and the tree belt goes to here, and so we'll have a laneway here as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that marks out this contour pretty well. So we'll go back now and jump in the tractor and we'll make it.